Hi Scorpio, how you doing? This is your January 2017 forecast, and I'm here with you to look at some of the energies that are coming in for you and how you can move forward with strength and clarity. Now, I tried to film your video a few times. I have to say, Scorps, I kept wanting to film it, and I kept hitting walls. Just walls. And I think that's because there's this deep sense that I'm picking up with you that you experienced some very intense things this year. And you are a deep sign. Excuse me, cards are falling. I'm going to go collect these. Okay, the cards have spoken. I was shuffling them here while I was giving you a little intro. So, you're a deep sign. You are a sign of transformation, revolution in the soul. And you feel things more deeply, I think, than probably any other sign. You need time to heal from things. You don't wake up a few days later and say, oh, I'm good. Don't need to look back. You need the time because your roots go so deep that you can't just glance over the surface. Now, that is a gift in this world, but it can also be our greatest gifts are our greatest weaknesses, right? And in your case, that can often make you feel very tired and very sluggish, and it can also make you feel like, while others, maybe a Leo or an Aries or a Gemini, somebody in that, can just move on and, they just need a couple days and they're on to the next thing. You don't have that necessarily. You need the time to incorporate those wounds, to incorporate those feelings. And to be honest, that might be showing up for you in January. I'm going to be totally honest with you because you can handle it and you have a wisdom about you. But I get the sense when I feel out your energy for 2016, you learned some karmic lessons, which we all do. We all have lessons to learn. It just has that feeling of kind of like you had that mirror in your life, serving as this big mirror to yourself where you had to take the time to learn. And I think what January is going to be for you is going to be a time where you take the pieces, you look at the pieces, you slowly and steadily put them back together in a way that makes you feel whole again, to where you can move forward. But that might feel a little slow. So, just take a breath. The first week especially is going to be very slow in January, and that's okay. That's okay. Just remember that you are allowed to take the time to heal and to incorporate old lessons. You are worth the time to love yourself. And it's okay if you don't feel all sassy and on top of it for every second of every day. You don't need to be that way in order to be a valuable member of society. So just remember that, okay? Now let's look at your recent past, because I like to get some sense of where you're coming from when you hit January, because that helps me to understand what your blockages are in January. And it looks like actually the end of the year you were feeling much more grounded. You were feeling much more of that calming energy that kind of comes at the end of the year where you feel like, okay, I can take a breath, I can enjoy myself. It looks like you were very grounded, in fact. So if you went through a hard summer and early fall, it looks like you started to come around and feel grounded and get your to-do lists together, get your dreams together, get your visions in order so that you can move forward. That's very strong energy right there, is that sense of, I know what I need to get done and I'm going to do it because I've been wasting my time and I don't want to do that anymore. And you might have even started to find some answers for your path forward. The star is an amazing card to have. So it tends to suggest that while you might have had some big karmic lessons in 2016, you were also starting to turn the corner and see clearly about what is going on next. And since you're such an expansive sign, you're such a transformational sign, you are able to appreciate this energy on a level that not every sign has. So take that in. I do think that, you were starting to see clearly how those lessons have affected you, which is great, because if you're going into January feeling the groundedness and feeling the hope and the dreams and the vision, and that you have a path, not only grounded, but in like the big vision way, then you're going to feel so much better going into January. Okay, and let's look at your central energies for this month coming up, because honestly your November December-ish energy is very good. It's very grounded, it's very forward thinking, and it is very much focused on accomplishing, which is wonderful, Scorps. But this is what I was talking about with, you might need to just retrace your steps a little bit in January. Let's revisit some themes, because your central energy for January is the Six of Cups. This is a really beautiful card. It's a very powerful card. In fact, I think this is one of the most powerful cards in the entire deck, because it is talking about your past. It is talking about nostalgia. It is talking about the way time is circular, and tenderness and caring from our past can sometimes revisit us in big ways. And I think you are going to have to spend a little bit of time with this energy. Just a little bit. And it doesn't have to be harrowing, but it looks like you have something in your past that you need to reconcile yourself with. If you did have a karmic relationship, and that could be in love, in your family, even in your work environment, take some time to look back. They had their part to play, because they were also in that relationship. And you had your part to play. And you can figure out which pieces you need to reconcile for yourself. And you'll figure them out. You're very wise. You're the sleuths of the zodiac. You know how to get to the truth. So that's where that energy is coming in for you in January. And why I was saying it might take some time to work through these old energies. It might take some time in January, but that's wonderful. If you can get that kind of work done in yourself, you are going to feel so much stronger going forward. And the great thing is that I picked 3 cards for your central energy, and that's your very center of the reading, but you also have 2 other cards. Undergirding that Six of Cups, looking back at your past, looking back at your old choices, you have the Six of Pentacles. Now, this is a beautiful card too. It's another 6, and this is about figuring out, and this goes along with your Six of Cups, figuring out how to balance your mentality about your finances and about your place in the world. You need to learn how to reserve when it's important to reserve, and you need to learn how to share and give where it's important to give. And even though this is an earth card, I think this also applies to emotions. That's what I always say. I mean, money and love are one and the same thing. And your relationship with how much you're willing to give in money is as much related to how much you're willing to give in your heart. And there are times when you have to set up healthy boundaries too, and you have to say, I'm sorry, I can't give in that area right now because I need to keep myself healthy. So you're also going to be visiting your priorities there, and you're going to be visiting your balance, your sense of balance. Absolutely. And like I said, that goes along with thinking about your sense of balance in your karmic history, because both of these energies are asking you to just do an audit, basically, which, yeah, doesn't sound very exciting. I know. It's not, this isn't the most exciting word in the English language, but I tell you what, if there's one thing that's worth your time, it's doing that little self-check-in audit. Take a long walk. I've been recommending that for everybody in January. If you are living somewhere where you can take a long walk without it being negative 10 degrees in January, please take that walk and just take some time to get right with yourself, because you do feel things so deeply. So it might take some time. You got to go to the bottom of that well and reincorporate everything. All right. Now, crowning both of those 6 cards, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is a wonderful card, you guys. And I think that self-auditing process, this is the energy that's going to result from that. This is, things are going to start to turn. The wheel of time However you want to look at this card, things are going to start to turn. As soon as you can reconcile your emotional and your material worlds, and you can get that balance healthily going for yourself, things are going to start turning. That star energy that I was kind of sensing from the end of 2016 is going to combine with this Wheel of Fortune energy. If you're wondering about getting a move on, of changing residence, starting a new job, starting a new career, starting a new relationship, moving to a different country, whatever it may be, you might start to see that clarity of path right before you. This card to me is very much you're turning into a new phase. Now that means you do have to do the inner work. As the wheel turns, both bad things fall out of your life and things that you might miss. So just be prepared that there is going to be a little bit of movement. Now let's look at the energy that's coming into the end of the month for you, Scorps, because the last half of the month is going to be a very important time. And we want you to feel strong going into February, because if you are doing the 6 of Cups and 6 of Pentacles self-examination work, you might feel a little bit weak in the knees, just a little bit, because you're going to feel a little bit like, whoa, what have I just been through? Where am I headed? But there's really good news here. First of all, we have the High Priestess. This makes me think of Scorpios pretty profoundly, because she is the guardian of the gates. She is intuition incarnate, basically. And you all have very good intuition. And I think you should trust it. You'll know the right answers for yourself. You know, with that 6 of Cups energy in that past, if you feel called to make a phone call to somebody that you feel you need to speak with, follow that instinct. If you feel that you can let it be, you will follow that too. The right path will be clear for you. It's going to be based in your instincts though, and since you are Scorpios, that should not be a problem for you. I think you're very good at this. You're very good at this, so I do not worry whatsoever. But this energy is going to rule over you the second half of the month, which is great. I mean, this is probably one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. Now, along with that, you have the King of Swords. There's going to be clarity, is basically what I'm saying. I mean, but with the High Priestess and the King of Swords, there is going to be a sense of clarity. There is going to be a sense of finality and consistency with the messages coming for you. King of Swords is pretty relentless. I mean, look at him. He's willing to cut out anybody in his path. It's bothering him. He's very forthright, very clear. No wishy-washy communication here, right? So you're going to have clear answers for yourself. And I almost feel like this is you. No bullshit whatsoever, which is wonderful, because if you've been going through some of these deeper, darker things inside of you, having that kind of clarity can be such a relief. It's such a relief because you can move on that, because you can live with the knowledge that you know where you need to be. Wonderful. Now, there's 2 little warnings in this reading for you. Just little suggestions for how to keep yourself calm and pulled together as you do this self-healing journey, and as you start opening up those new doors with the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess coming in. Things are going to be shifting. Pieces are going to be coming into play. You will be asked to follow your intuition, and those are big assignments. They are big assignments. Don't freak yourself out. Number 1. Whenever I see this card, I think this is what I call the 2 a.m. waking up in the morning at 2 a.m. with all of your fears and doubts and remembering how you said something stupid at a party once. That's what the 9 of Swords energy is. You're torturing yourself, and you're not getting anywhere very fast with that kind of energy. So just, if you do wake up in the night, try and just think some positive things. Remember the things that you have around you that are there to support you and guide you. Because those scary things hanging over your head in the middle of the night, they're just like phantoms that are you're trying to like scare yourself into reason, but you won't do it that way. The best thing you can do for yourself is keep very calm and level-headed and clear. So remember that. And on the other hand, we have the Two of Pentacles. These cards came out. I normally only have 3 clarifiers for the end of the month, but 4 came out. Now, we did all that work you had really good grounded energy going into the new year, around New Year's. Don't get back into this uncertain energy either. Try your best to remember to follow your instinct. Remember to keep really clear, concise, intense communication going, because that's what you need to move forward. And indecision like this is going to keep you trapped in old patterns. And we don't want that. We want you to move forward and release yourself from any kind of indecisiveness that you might have. It's going to be a time to make decisions in the second half of the month. And it's going to be a time of making phone calls, writing emails, and getting in touch with people that need to hear something from you. And no nonsense. We're talking no nonsense. So you have some heavy energies coming in for the month of January, you guys. You just have some work to do, and that's okay. Once again, I always like to say that when you have a reading like this where you have work to do and you have things to think about, it's always a great sign, because it means that things are coming full circle and that you're about to see a shift. And that is the kind of thing that is normally going to improve your life quite a bit. Going through these subterranean, deep journeys are extremely healing, extremely freeing, and they allow for new energy to come in. So just keep that in mind if you're feeling a little discouraged at this reading. I'm going to look at the Six of Cups card because I have a very strong sense about this karmic tie from your past. It just is a central energy. I felt it before I started this reading, and it's continued. So I want to just get an idea of what that could be and how to move forward with that energy. If you're uncertain, if you're feeling kind of locked in, if your heart is still in that place and you're feeling the nostalgia, you're trying to understand what role it could have possibly played, I'm going to try and find a little bit of solace in there for you, because no relationship goes without being important in our life. They're all important, they all serve a purpose, and they're all there to give us something very deep. And if you do feel like you are in a karmic relationship, and like I said, this could be in family, love, or in career, those people are sometimes the most important people in our entire lives. And even if they don't stay in our lives, and even if we say goodbye or we don't talk every day, it's okay, because they are still so important to your progression, and you are important to their progression too. So just remember that, okay, Scorps? Okay, so the first thing we get is the Hanged Man. And so once again, it really is about taking the time. I know it's a new year, you just want to spring into action, a lot of us do. But it's okay to take the time to reflect on the Six of Cups energy, because something really heavy went down there. And if you take the time, the Hanged Man is extremely enlightened. He's calm. He's taking the time. He's breathing slowly and deeply. He knows. If you see, and this is the Cosmic Tarot, and in this deck he has this halo of light around his head. He knows. He sees clearly. He understands. And a big part of that is because he's allowing himself to relax. He is in this position. He does need to do that work. So it's just a little reminder that it's okay to do that. And we also have the Prince of Wands. Now, this is Leo energy, if I ever saw Leo energy, I think. And that's great, because this, I think, really applies to you once you get through this process. Even though you're a deep water sign, you have a pride and a clarity to you that is beautiful and magnetic, just like the Leo. And if you can get through some of this deeper homework, you're going to feel very proud. You're going to feel very clear and passionate, and you're going to feel like you've kind of come back to life from a time of waiting and going underground and doing the work. What a great way. What a great transformation. Taking that enlightenment and putting it into practice in the world and feeling that you've been resurrected, literally resurrected, which, Scorpio, that's your whole thing. You are a sign of resurrection. And so don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged if you have a day where you feel really sad that you lost this, or you feel sad that you couldn't understand it at the time and that you couldn't keep going with it. That's okay. You can feel sad. It's a process. It's a journey, and you will come out stronger and more enlightened and better than you've ever been before. I promise you. I really do. So, Scorps, I think it's going to be a beautiful month. I think you're going to be filled with poetry and clarity, and you're going to find some of that self-love, and we want that for you. You guys deserve it. And there's somebody honking a horn outside. They're probably, if I don't know if you can hear it on this video, but they're honking a horn, and they're probably honking at it for you guys, saying, yeah, you guys deserve to feel amazing. You deserve to feel resurrected and refreshed, and you deserve to make peace with anything that felt out of balance for you. I think that is the main thing I'm getting from this, actually, now that I'm concluding the video. Find that balance. It's okay to be nostalgic, but it's also great to free yourself from old patterns. It's okay to love somebody and also know that you can't be with them. It's okay to know that a job was super important on your resume, but that you wanted to move on and you had to. So keep that in mind, and I really think your other card, just to keep in mind, is this High Priestess. Stick with this. If you're ever in doubt, just like Google High Priestess and connect in with that energy, because this is you, this is your gut instinct, and it knows. You know. You are a very wise sign. You're a very intuitive sign. You'll know. All right, you guys, I will see you in a month. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one and would like a personal reading, you can catch my email and my website. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my words, you guys. Okay, you can catch my email and my website down in the description box. I will put those down there along with my Instagram, and you can get in touch with me that way, and I would love to meet you and work with you. I hope you have a beautiful January. I hope you find peace and love and joy and excitement and passion all rolled into one. And I will see you in a month when we do the February readings. All right, y'all. See you soon.